Hey, what's up guys, it's Ricky here and welcome to Smite, except I'm doing something a little different inside this Smite video. I know some people are looking like, oh my god, why are you playing Artemis inside a jungle practice? Well, it's a new series I'm doing on Smite called Why Do We Play This God? And so this episode, why do we play Artemis? I'm thinking of just going along the lines of going like certain gods that are requested and certain gods that I primarily think are pretty fun and interesting. But as for the first video, give me some feedback on how you might like it, and time to get in depth about this character. So Artemis is a very early game-ish god, and while some might disagree, I can support that with, solid evidence. Artemis gains critical strike chance buff on each successful auto attack. So you're like, oh, well, it's just 5 per hit. But keep in mind, while some critical items only give us 15 critical chance, Artemis basically has a poison star just from auto attacking you 3 times. Now, while it may not crit often, but if you pair this up with the Deathbringer and the Wind Demon, well, Artemis has 65, wait, not 65, 55, sorry, I thought he gave her more. 55 crit chance just from auto attacking you 3 times and having those 2 items. Artemis' square isn't really too much. See, it's more along the lines of, oh hey, these traps are here and they're gonna help me turn you into a pincushion. Her basics early off don't really do too much damage at this is her at level 20. And as you can see, the passive doesn't make her crit too often. It's just 15% critical chance. It doesn't make her crit too often, but it does help out. Now, this cripples the enemy's movement abilities. It doesn't let them do anything, and it deals damage over time for 3 seconds. Early game it is 25, next level 40, 55, 70, all per second, and it roots you for 2. At max level you can hold 3 traps, and the cooldown is fairly quick. This, in my opinion, is Artemis's bread and butter. Artemis moves faster by like a hell of a lot. Her attack speed goes through the fucking ceiling. And this is with no additional attack speed items or anything. Artemis' next ability is Suppress the Insolent. Artemis fires a volley into the ground target, suppressing all of her enemies. Enemies caught within the volley are damaged and slowed. See, now this ability sounds pretty cool, but in retrospect it's literally just this. They're slowed for 25 for about 2 seconds, and it's a 10-second cooldown. Compared to other slows in this game like Osiris, this slow is kind of laughed at, but it's a good thing so that she can keep up and combine it with her X, and then keep her target in her sight. But Artemis' 4th ability is Caledonian Boar. Artemis summons the Great Caledonian Boar on her enemies, doing damage to the nearest enemy god and stunning them and itself. The boar is immune until it hits the first god and then continues to charge at other gods for its lifetime. Artemis is also immune to crowd control effects for 3 seconds, and I also use this to break free of crowd control effects. Like if I'm being slowed, I just pop the boar goes off and he's just popping off. As you can see, the boar just comes out, stuns all nearby gods, while making Artemis CC immune. This is a lovely tool for catching or retreating from fights, or making a team fight happen. Say if your Bacchus goes in, pops in ulti, makes them all tipsy, you just zip over, pop your boar, and boom goes the team fight. It's a pretty solid ability if I do say. But I think what really makes Artemis pop is the usage of the boar, her action square. I really don't touch her circle at all. But let's get a few items on her. Here's a typical, okay-ish Artemis build. Around late game, she'd be doing about this much damage with 55% crit. As you can see, she's critting pretty often, and this is why most people hate Artemis. her passive and her X make her a fucking nightmare to deal with. And if you don't stand still for her, well, you don't need to, because you can't move. You get stunned, and on top of that, she can place her trap on you, which leaves you unable to do anything for what feels like an entire century. And by then, you don't even have to feel like you're doing all of that, because you're already dead. God forbid you fall into a trap when you're not paying attention in the heat of the moment, then you're pumped full of holes by Artemis like she's some fucking heavy in Team Fortress 2. Artemis makes focusing her a problem just for the sake of every Artemis is quick to pop their boar faster than they insta-lock the champion inside a champion select. It's just ridiculous. Oh, hey, you want to focus Artemis? Well, hit her with a slow and then let's all get on her. No, because then you just helped her get a team stun with her boar. And this boar is the most batshit little fucker too, because he will stay until the timer is up, and even if you're like in the air or something when it first comes down, and then you jump down with like a Thanatos or something, it's waiting down there for you. And this is why people play Artemis, because they want to be the annoying little son of a bitch that is just boar popping and shredding through the team late game with either a Quintize or an Executioner, just running 2 crit items because they can, or don't even have to if they wanted to. They get a Deathbringer replaced with another power item. But I do see a lot of Artemis going Odysseus bow, and I will not lie. I kind of see why and kind of don't at the same time. You know, it does help her clear, but at the same time, I don't see it. Some Artemis go Transcendence, but you know, it's just not me. With this build, you can kind of solo Fire Giant. So if like Conquest you get ahead, if that's what you want to do, you can choose to. But make sure like your team knows that's what you're doing, so they don't enter like a team fight or something. She can solo Fire Giant fairly easily, especially with how fast she is and amount of crits that she does get off. You can easily score a buff with your team, take your jungler, and then just go fuck up Fire Giant. Go with Fury's even easier, especially since you aren't like dodging too much. Start hitting the bitch, kite her. And I know the hit around Conquest isn't that big, that's all walked up. But thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment on who you'd want me to do next. I've certainly enjoyed a bit talking about this bullshit god, and in the future videos let me know if you want to see like gameplay while me commentating on why people play this ridiculous fucking god that I might be playing as, because the fact that Artemis has this passive is honestly beyond me. And if they gave her more stacks with that, Artemis would be the #1 hunter, especially since they're taking out Fatalis inside of the next patch. I feel like Artemis, Chiron are really gonna get a lot more playtime. Artemis, Chiron, and Cab, those type of hunters that can close the gap fairly easily with slows and or movement speed that can just end someone's life in about 3 seconds. Chiron, however, is kinda because while he can catch you, I never saw Chiron as one of those hunters that did a shit ton of damage in like 3 seconds, unless you build him like full pen. But my name is Ricky, and I'll see you